With that said, let's get into our call today. This young man hails in San Diego. He did a great leadership this past Saturday. He's a single father, made a decision as assistant analyst. He was flying around the country, spending too much time away from his daughter. She's growing up. She's in high school. I mean, time is flying. And he said, you know what? I need to draw a line in the sand and make a commitment to my business so I can spend more quality time with my daughter and give her the better things in life than my parents gave me. And his dad was a dentist in the military, and he grew up that way. But he made a decision to change that. Regional director from Southern California, San Diego area, going to a massive organization there in other states. Without further ado, the great regional director, Mr. Julian Lewis.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see all of your faces. Excited to be on here this morning and go over some information that I think is going to help you remember today. We're talking about the big picture. So before I do that, just to give it back to Mr. Thomas, for those of you that don't know, I remember meeting Mr. Thomas for the very first time. I was promoted to the first position in the company, and I was able to get to a leadership that he was doing at my first mentor's penthouse overlooking Petco Park in the Bay in San Diego. And I remember it was very simple. He went over some things that you want to do on a daily basis, a daily method of operation. And I applied that to my business that was already becoming successful, and it helped me to accelerate and get home to my family quicker. So I want to thank you again for everything that you're doing. And yes, she's not just in high school, she's a senior in high school this year. And so this is her last year before she goes off to college. So things have been great for us. It goes fast, even when you have as much time as I have with her. So I just want to say this side note. If you're a parent and you're doing ACN, just some advice from me, do it faster, because even when you're home with them, the time goes by quickly. So with that being said, thank you again, Mr. Thomas. And just to give you a brief background on myself, prior to getting involved with ACN, I was a senior systems engineer. I was working roughly 80 to 90 hours a week at my job. I was averaging 50 to 60 flights a year, which put me in a situation where I really didn't have a lot of time for myself or my family. But good fortune came my way. I was introduced to this project by my first mentor in this industry, who shared with me a system that allowed someone as busy as me to build this business part-time around my schedule, and enabled me to come home to my family. But most importantly, I was able to become the type of father that I felt my daughter deserved. And this morning, like I said, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over the big picture, but we're going to be talking about a blueprint that you can use to have success right out of the gates in your business. Last week, we talked about how to accomplish the goal of getting the 1,000 points that Mr. Thomas was talking about, and how you can accelerate that by thinking like a business owner, thinking like a leader, and getting your people to the international training event in Fort Lauderdale. So this week, what we're going to talk about is also big picture, but we're going to be focusing on building your team. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to bring up some slides, and I really want to break this down because I know some of you have seen it in training. You've seen or heard conversations about building your team. You've seen people train on the subject of building your team. But I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and that you truly understand it. Because if you understand it the way that the leaders do, I believe if you can see the value in it the way they do, and you know what to do, and as far as next steps, you can get the same results as the leaders did before you. So I want to bring up the first thing, disclaimer. Okay, everything that I'm going to cover is actually how we build in our organization. And so the things that you love that align with what your organization is doing, steal as much of it as you want. The things that don't align, just follow what your mentor or leaders are doing. And if you don't have a mentor or leader, feel free to copy everything that you're seeing here and take it with you. And just remember, if you're taking screenshots or trying to write down notes really, really fast, here's what I want you to do. Just listen, pay attention to what I'm saying right now, because this video, this is being recorded and you can go back and take notes. So jot down things that stand out to you, but don't worry about trying to copy down every single thing. Be smart, be a smart note taker. If there's a recording, that means you can write down what stands out, go back to the recording, and then get the information that you need that you didn't write down during the training. Because if you're if you're focused too much on the notes, you'll lose the impact of the moment, and I don't want you to miss that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to bring up, we're going to talk about why. So why are we focused on team building? Because in anything, I want you to think about every major company. You know, you could think about Apple, you could think about Microsoft, you can think about any big company. Any big company is essentially a team. It's a team of people that are part of an organization that allow that organization to actually see a vision come into fruition. So it allows you to leverage. It allows you to identify people that are better than you to get in to work with you on a goal that can get accomplished faster because you have more hands on the project. So you want to make sure to understand that doing it all by yourself is lonely. And I want you to understand, even in traditional business, the majority of small businesses fail within their first 5 years. That's why Inc. magazine only ranks businesses after their first 5 years of business. But listen to this. Out of 90% of the failed businesses and failed small businesses, out of failed small businesses, 90% of them are solopreneurs. What does that mean? Those are the people that are trying to do everything on their own, and they're not enrolling team members where they're hiring employees or recruiting people into their organization. So 90% of the businesses that fail that are small businesses are the solopreneurs who have to control everything. As quickly as possible, you want to identify people that are better than you and get them building your business. So that's a crazy statistic. And so you want to think about that. Am I trying to do ACN all by myself? And if that's the case, whether you're uncomfortable with building a team or not, you want to get outside of your comfort zone so that you can start having success right away. Now, the reason you want to build a team is because overriding residual income is powerful. And if you didn't understand how it works, ACN will pay you through what we call 5 levels of residual income. And they will pay you 4% on each one of those levels. So what is a level? If you were to personally sponsor me into ACN, I would fall on your first level. If I refer Mr. Al Thomas to ACN, he would be on your second level. He said Mr. Steve Payton's going to be doing the call tomorrow. If Mr. Thomas were to refer Mr. Steve Payton to the business, then Mr. Steve Payton will fall on your third level, and fourth level, fifth level, so on and so forth. The reason why I'm telling you this is because all the customers that Mr. Steve Payton refers, you could have the opportunity to earn 4% on. All of the customers that I refer, all the customers that Mr. Thomas refers, you could earn 4% on. I'm the only person that you introduced. But everything that happens after that, 5 levels removed from you, on the efforts of people in your team, when they gather customers, you earn 4% on all of the monthly commissionable revenue coming from those customers' bills. Now you have the potential to do that. The way you are able to get that income every single month on 5 levels is you have to have 75 personal customer points. Okay, 75 personal customer points get you paid on all of those levels, allowing you to leverage. See, you don't have a relationship with my family. You don't have a relationship with my friends and the people that I know. But because I'm in your organization, you get paid from them being loyal to me every single month and paying their bills because they went through their family, their friend, or their coworker or whatever. They're loyal to me. And so that loyalty to the organization means that you have ongoing residual income that you're going to get paid from. Now, I want to share with you the simplicity of this. Some people say, okay, 75 personal points, got it. Let me go out there and sell. Let me go out there and get services. I get it. Because it says services, you think, let's go get services. What if I told you that you could get both business partners and customers by doing just one thing? And you didn't have to become a psychic and try to figure out who's better to become a customer and who's better to become a business partner. I believe a lot of people move slower in ACN because they spend too much time trying to figure out who would be this and who would be that. Why worry about that if at the end of the day, it's that person's decision anyway? We spend too much energy trying to control the things that we can't control, and we spend little to no energy on the things that we actually can. See, the only thing that you can control is how many people you expose to the ACN opportunity. And through exposing them to the business, they make a decision on whether they want to become a customer or a business partner. And if all you did is let them own their decision, you would build faster. Not only would you have people enrolling in your team, but you would also have way more customers than you actually do right now. So what does that look like in simple terms? In our organization, we have a 7-day game plan. And this 7-day game plan is the reason why when people enroll in our team, we have an average of over 90% for the whole year enrolling in our team and becoming executive team leaders and getting the 30-day fast start bonus. That is not an exaggeration. It's because we keep things super simple. And we follow this 3 steps. We help them to become customer qualified. We help them to get a Zoom meeting set up immediately. And doing those 2 things will generate the first paycheck and lead to leadership training where they will get trained by the co-founders and the top producers as an executive team leader in ACN. So that looks very simple. 7-day game plan, you can do it in 24 hours. You can do it in 3 hours. But the average person does it in 7 days, and it shows up official as executive team leader in their first 7 to 10 days. That's the average. And so what I want you to do is get really clear and really simple on why and what you do in the 7-day game plan. So we're going to break that down. The first thing is we have something called we call it a soft opening, okay? There is a soft opening if you're taking notes and a grand opening. What is a soft opening? Well, if you've ever known anybody who's a business owner, a restaurant owner, and they're opening up their restaurant. Mr. Thomas, I know you've been invited to soft openings before. It's open to the public, right? So it's exclusive. We know the business owner who's launching the business, and they say, hey, I want to invite my closest people, right? My family and my friends to have a special night to see our business so we can showcase it to the people we love the most. What's a grand opening? A grand opening is when you just invite everyone who's everyone. You don't discriminate. So why would you want to invite your closest contacts first? It's usually because leaders, I'm going to talk to you first. Leaders, you want to invite your brand new person's closest people first, because those are the people that they're going to reach out to and try to explain without your help anyway. And if they explain it to their closest people without your help, 9 times out of 10, they will get it wrong. And all your brand new person's closest people are going to give them their opinion based on limited to no information, which means they're usually going to advise them ineffectively. So now your new person goes from being really excited to not excited. And if you're going to attempt to help someone who's not excited to invite everyone they know, good luck. It's not going to work out well for you. So leaders, I want you to get this is very important. The soft opening, say I signed up someone today. Mr. Thomas, I signed up someone today. I, as a leader, know that I want to have my soft opening for that new person today, tonight at the latest. And worst case scenario, if they're working a 12-hour shift, something strange, I want to have it for tomorrow. First thing. Why? Because here's what happened to me. My mentor said, Julian, I know you're excited. Don't talk to anybody about this until we get together and I can train you. And I said, perfect. I won't talk to anyone. I said that out loud. I said, I won't talk to anyone. But you know what that looks like in a human being's brain? That doesn't include my fiance. That doesn't include my best friend. That doesn't include my brother, Brian. Those people I'm talking to regardless, because those are my closest people. So when he said, don't talk to anyone, I said, yeah, I won't talk to the masses. Here's what's so funny. New people think it's good to talk to your close people. And yeah, I get it. I won't talk to everyone else because I don't have rapport. I don't do it. They get that with the everyone else scenario. What new people don't realize, it's worse with your closest people. Why? Because they know you. They know you're not in business. They know you have nothing to do with telecom. They know nothing about network marketing. And if they do, most people have it misconstrued with something that looks like structures in Egypt. So most people don't realize or know how to speak about the business. So here's what you can do, leaders. You can try to be like my mentor and try to convince me against what I was going to do anyway. Or you can be on my side, lean in with me, and help me introduce the people faster that I'm going to try to introduce by myself, so you can protect me from myself. Okay? So that's why you want to talk to them fast. Here's the cool thing about the people, the closest people. If I'm new and you did a 3-way call with Mr. Thomas and myself, and you signed me up in the business, I'm new. My closest contacts, I don't have to figure out their schedule. I already know my brother's schedule. Why? Because he's my brother and we're close. I already know my fiance's schedule. I don't have to figure that out. I know when she's going to be at my house. I know when she gets off of work. I know when she goes to work. Why? Because she's close to me. See, we overcomplicate this thing. Close people, I asked, Mr. Thomas says, Julian, when does your brother take a break at work? Even if I don't know, I can say, hold on, let me ask him. Brian, when do you take a break? Brian's going to send me back 12 o'clock. Mr. Thomas is going to say, perfect. You're going to send him this approach and schedule a time for 12 o'clock today, and we're going to talk to your brother, okay? Then he's going to say, what about your fiance? And so guys, so you know, don't start congratulating. So when I talk about my fiance, I'm talking about when I got started in the business, okay? Some people, they're going to start messaging. You already know what I mean, Mr. Thomas. So my fiance back then, what time did she get off of work? She was in property management. So I'd say she gets off at 5. Okay, is she going to have a break? Yeah, actually she has a lunch break and she has a break around 3. All right, let's contact her during her lunch break and we'll schedule that for 15 minutes after we talk to your brother. Perfect. Okay, so now I have my brother scheduled and I have my fiance. What about who's next? My best friend, Danny. Okay, Danny Londo. Let's contact Danny. When does Danny work? All right, Danny actually doesn't work today. He's off today. Perfect. We can contact Danny right now. Okay, I hope you guys are getting this. I already knew their schedules because they're close to me. Now, the invite is super simple. This is going to mess you guys up, okay? In a good way, though, in a good way. So the invite, take a look at the invite. It says, use great news announcement script. All right, let's see what that is, okay? Check this out. This is the announcement script. Here's another mistake. We live in a technology-filled world. If you look at the stats, and this is even for older people, if you look at the stats, the average person would rather respond to a text first then a call first. I need you guys to get this, especially the older kids. Okay, I'm just gonna say the older kids. I need you to get this. The data shows. Why would I try to argue with the data? I'd have to be goofy to argue with the data. The data shows that the average person would rather receive a text and respond to a text first than a call. Now, in 1989, there was no such thing as text. It was just call. So you would call first, okay? Why am I said first, though. I didn't say only. I don't want you to get this confused. So here's how you get people to pick up the phone. Who wants to know how to get people to pick up the phone? Who realized that when you call first, most people don't pick up the phone? It's because they're not conditioned anymore. So you can either fight the conditioning or go with it and make it simple. Here's how you do it. You send an exciting text. OMG, I'm really excited. I have great news. When do you have 2 minutes to talk? Here's what we know about everyone. Human beings by nature are nosy. We're nosy. So if I were to send you, I really want you to think about this. Sherian, if I sent you a text, OMG, I'm really excited, I have great news. When do you have 2 minutes to talk? Sherry and I have talked offline because she knows me. Guess what? She might not even wait to text me back. She'll call and say, what's going on? And that'll happen because people want to know great news. And so if you want people to be receptive to a phone call, send them this text first. And then everyone that responds, you'll get a scheduled time. Doesn't that make sense? Especially with your closest people. If I sent this to my brother, he would say, I can talk right now, or let me take a break. And now there's no me calling him, going to voicemail, and doing I think I would call this one of the 7 deadly network marketing sins of 2022. You guys want to hear? Leaving a voicemail. I don't check mine. Most people don't check theirs. So you're doing yourself a disservice and you're wasting your time. All right, so check this out. Once they tell you when they have 2 minutes to talk, you schedule the time. You schedule the time to talk. And then you 3-way call with your mentor or sponsor. It's exclusive invite. What they're going to do is they're going to say, so so let's say your new person calls Sherian, and now we're doing a 3-way call. I'm the mentor. All right. I say, hey, what's going on? I know you got the text. Listen, we're really, really excited. We're so excited for Daryl. He's new. What I'm doing with Daryl is he's launching something new. You know, there's a lot going on during this time pandemic, and he made a pivot, and he's launching something new. And I've helped a lot of people to launch new projects, and I'm working on that with Daryl, and he's about ready to have his grand opening. And so before we have that, I asked him if he knew anybody that he'd want to showcase this to exclusively before we launch it to the world. And Sherian, you were one of the first people that he mentioned because you guys go way back, right? So does that sound exclusive? Yes. Is it exciting? Yes. Is there any reason why Sherian should have a wall up? No. So, this is really big. Is there any reason that Daryl needs to now try to call Sherian and explain the business? No, I diffused that bomb. Did you see how that works? A lot of you aren't diffusing bombs. You're trying to put people's arms and put new prospects and new recruits back together after they got blown up by their family and friends. That's very difficult. So do it this way. That's what a soft opening is. Now you can have everyone, all of the close people on the same presentation, or you can all have them all on individuals. Why? Because our presentations are only 10 minutes. You guys talk, if you guys are talking longer than that, you're talking too much. Okay? So real quick, real brief, real exciting. Now let's take a look at the grand opening. Grand opening is what most of you know as a private business Zoom. Grand openings are when you invite everyone that you know, everyone that you're associated with, everyone. You want to make a list and invite, and don't prejudge, because you don't know. Only person that knows who would be interested is them. And remember, our invites are simple. How do we invite? I need your opinion on something. I can contact someone I haven't talked to in 10 years. My friend Eric Sarmiento, I've known him since 6th grade. I reached out to him today. Hey man, I haven't talked to you in over a decade, but I thought of you and I need your opinion on something. It's very important. No small talk needed. Just go right into the opinion. Reach out. The person with the most exposures wins. Remember this, 50% will respond. So what does that mean? Do you want 50% of 5 or 8? Or do you want 50% of 100? What sounds better to you? Okay. Now, your goal is to get results right away. So here's what we do. And this should let all of you breathe a little bit. You guys ready to just like exhale with me? You ready? I see you, Sharon. That was a good one. So take a look at this. We sign up so many people because I don't actually have to close them. I want you to think about that for a second. All I asked them is, based on the information you saw, what category do you see yourself in? Do you see yourself as someone what are you leaning most towards is what I say often. Are you leaning most towards category 3? You like the idea of saving some money and supporting your friend or family member? Are you more like me? You're interested and you have a few questions? Or do you see yourself more like Marie Belena, who saw this from someone she trusted, saw that they were getting results and knew that if they could get results, so could she. And you're ready to sign up. Notice what I said there. That'll all be on the recording and you can go back and steal all of it, because the way I ask the questions are important. All right. And so I say, and I want my new people, this is what I tell my new people before we have the presentation. Listen, most people are going to fall into category 2. I want you to know that category 2 is good. Here's why. Because category 2 means they're intrigued, and questions mean they want to know more. See, most new people, another secret, most new people think questions mean they don't like it. Okay, questions mean they want to know more. And questions lead to you having a 1 or a 3. Remember I told all of you when we got started this morning that some people see that 75 points, so they think, let me go get some customers. And I said, what if I can show you how to do something that will get both? I just showed you. So by having the soft opening and having the grand opening and allowing people to decide whether they want to be a customer or business partner by showing them this slide, you know what you're doing? You're signing up customers and you're signing up business partners organically based on who wants to be a customer because they felt it themselves, versus you trying to convince someone, because a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Okay, so you want to schedule yours right away. And I'm going to do a call to action right now before I pass this off to Mr. Thomas. I need you to get serious about you and your business because you deserve it. No longer are you going to be just someone standing on the sidelines watching everyone else participate. It starts today. I want you to send out a text message to your mentor and say, I want to schedule a PBZ right away. And what your mentor is going to do is set up a soft opening and a grand opening. And all you're going to do is follow the steps that we talked about with no pressure, and follow the system. And allow the people that are looking for this to find you so that they can sign up or support you, because people want to do both. They just haven't seen it yet. Okay, so with that being said, Mr. Thomas, just a breakdown of what it means to build a team, how simple to do it, how to get yourself out of the way in old habits. Remember, the trick isn't to text. The trick is to allow the text to open them up for a call and be excitedly expecting it. And when you notice that little difference, you're going to get more people picking up your phone call because they're already conditioned to do so. So, Mr. Thomas, that being said, I'm done. The call is all yours, sir.